more on the Leigh jig and building the box. This is part 9, part 2, something like that. Welcome back to the Shopping Channel and episode 9 of the candle holder easel and the continuing adventures of let's talk about the Leigh jig. So we did the tails in the last episode and they came out really nice. I showed them before. Show them here, yeah, tiger maple, asymmetric tails. Now we're going to do the pins. And with this jig, the way you do the pins is you don't make any more adjustments on the fingers, but you take the jig finger part, this thing, and you flip it over end for end, front to back. Now the scale is different on this side. This side you have a scale, and I'll do it. Here's a close-up picture of the scale of what it looks like. No, not a picture, but a video. So this is the scale right here for cutting the pins. Cutting the pins, and it's based on the diameter, the max diameter of the dovetail bit that you use to cut the tails. In this case, it was 7/16. But if this jig is set further out towards the operator, you get wider tail pins. If you go that way, you get narrow pins. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the fingers so they're out further, making the pins bigger. And that way you can sneak up to getting a perfect fit. Now I've already tested this with my workpiece here, and it fits pretty well. But what I want to do, we're dealing with softwood and a hardwood, I want it to be even more precise. So I will start with this jig set to fat pins, and as I sneak up on it, I move the fingers backwards away from me to shrink the pins smaller and smaller, taking incremental cuts until I get just the fit that I want. And that's the secret of this machine. That's what you have to do. This is easy. This is the finicky bit that requires paying a little bit more attention. So you start with fat pins and you work up to where you get them to fit. And if you're doing a lot of these, you set the fat pins, then you get it to where you want by moving it back, and then you just blow through your work. Just leave it where it is and blow through your work. So I'll do that now. I'll cut my first set of pins in the fat, and then I'll work my way down till they fit this piece of tiger maple correctly. So let's get busy with that. Am I going to film that? Maybe I'll film the first cut. We'll see. First piece of wood, out, facing me. So it's the outside of the box is facing me, the operator. My standoff wood is in place to keep this nice and level. I'm going to drop the fingers down onto that wood, give it a snug, place my workpiece in place, and clamp it down. So this is ready now for the pins. And I'm going to do what I did in the previous video, is put this workpiece up against the fingers here and make sure I got some graphite out the end and draw a line. And that's the line. If you don't know what I'm doing, look at the previous video. I'll link it in the description. I'm going to adjust the cutter so that the cutter bottom just bisects the pencil line. In my case, I go a little bit, but in this case, I'm going a little bit below the pencil line. Not below it, but at the bottom of the pencil line. So the wood is slightly proud in the joint, and you can sand it smooth to where it's perfect. So this is ready to do my cuts. Get the router up. What I have installed in the router is the straight bit. So I'm ready to make that adjustment. I'm going, oh, you know what? Like I said in the previous video, have it set up exactly how you're going to do the cuts when you adjust the cutter. So I want this in place because this is in fact, oh, by the way, I went and tightened up and put some brackets on this thing. So this is much more stable and much more rigid now. So I set that up so that this can slide back and forth. Let's put the router on there. Do the final height adjustments of the dust collector. It's okay there. Now see, I can see the wobble right there. That's because this is lower than here. And as I said in the previous video, these arms that hold these up are not, they don't have real hard, good indexing. So what you do is loosen this handle up and bring it up until it's nice and there. So it doesn't move at all anymore. So this is now coplanar with that, or same level with that, and then tighten it down. So now I make the adjustment. Previous video on camera, I'll do it off camera right now, make the adjustment, and then we'll make a cut. Okay, so I've made the first cut, obviously, and unclamp this and look at it. So it's that's it, tails. Now, pins, excuse me. So now I do a test fit here, and it's not going to fit. I know it's not going to fit. And I got to sneak up on it some more. So I'll spend the rest of the time sneaking up and getting this to fit correctly, and then we'll move on from there. What I'll do is, once these are cut, I'm going to assemble the frame of this box, the outside of this box, because the bottom and top are going to be fastened directly to it. So we'll take care of that, you know, top and bottom. It's not going to be inside. So there we go. That's the that's basically tails and pins. Let me get busy finishing up the pins, and then we'll move on from there. There's the box. There is the box with dovetails all cut. All the corners are put together like so. It's almost perfectly flush on all four of the corners up here. This is going to get I demonstrated in a previous video. I think I'll put a link in the description. This is going to get the Aquafortis iron nitrate treatment to make the tiger maple really pop. I'm going for pop. On top of that will be the cherry piece, which will have all the holes cut in it that I showed earlier. And it sits on top just like this. And it will have the bottom will be attached to the bottom, hidden by the trim. And it'll have like little stair steps in it. So when the jars are for the candles are in it, there'll be one here, and one here. So it's higher, goes up in steps. So this is just box assembly. And I'm just going to go ahead and assemble this. And then when I come back, we'll be ready for finish. And we're thinking about a red cherry gel stain for which you can't see off camera, the Easel box container thingy table. It doesn't show up on camera very well because it's light wood and it's a light shop. So when that's done, you'll get a better detail of what's going on. This will, of course, like I said, we'll get the Aquafortis treatment for to pop the tiger maple, the cherry top, and the edge banding trim all the way around is going to get the usual 1 or 2 coats of amber shellac, and then everything's going to wipe on polyurethane on it. So that's when I come back, the box will be assembled. So we end this video now. So now that was kind of my deep dive-ish, not deep, 2 episodes on the Leigh jig. Any questions? Any more questions on it? Please put them in the description, in the comments. So with that said, I'm going to move on and get this thing together because I'm coming up to a deadline. So until next time, make great things out of wood.